Rage 2 is releasing on May 14th, 2019 and will cost $60. The last Rage game that came out was almost 9 years ago, way back in November 2010. But have you wondered why people are excited for this game and whether it's going to be worth it? That's what we're going to go over today. But before we get any further into the video, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and leaving a like is always appreciated if you enjoy the video. So Rage 2 gameplay is fast, kinetic, brutal, and has a whole bunch of high-flying aerial tricks, air dashes, crazy double jumps, etc. If you want to mess around, be OP, and have a killer time, the game has it. The simplest way for me to say this, even though they are two totally different games, but it's basically Borderlands on steroids. Believe it or not, the game is actually getting cheat codes to make the game what you want it to be. So if you want to run around with unlimited health, blowing everything up, not wanting to worry about failing like I would and blowing yourself up, then you can do that. If you want unlimited ammo, you got it. I think that you get the point for that. And honestly, I wish more games had cheat codes in them nowadays. I get that multiplayer games would be broken by it, but for single player games, they can be a ton of fun. I remember using the Game Genie on the Super Nintendo all the time as a kid, and using the up, up, down, down, left, right code in games that weren't supported by the Game Genie. But for the people that are interested in the story for Rage 2, you play as Walker, the last ranger of the wasteland in the year 2185, battling the last remnants of the first game's tyrannical authority. That sets things 50 years after the original game, meaning that despite the familiar enemy, the wider state of things has moved on. ID Software, the developers, are referring to Rage 2's world as post-apocalyptic. So the game has its own distinct atmosphere, flora, fauna, and enemy types. Rage 2 is much more high-tech than the typical apocalyptic hellhole, with a lot of new sci-fi technology and that sort of stuff. The one thing that may throw people off from its $60 price tag is that it does not have multiplayer. The developers have said there will be a mix of free DLC and paid DLC. So what the free DLC ends up being, we don't know as of right now. The game is going to run at 1080p 60 frames per second, and the developers have stated that there will not be any PS4 Pro or Xbox One X enhancements whatsoever, but 1080p 60 frames per second for the people that are playing on console is certainly good enough. So going off of all of that, I will leave it up to you to decide whether it's a game for you. To me, it sounds like a total blast and certainly worth the $60 price tag. The only thing that I could think would make it a guaranteed purchase to everybody is it having multiplayer and being able to play with your friends. But to be honest, I have been enjoying single player games, so for me, that's not too big of a deal. But for people that enjoy playing online and playing with their friends, that is the biggest thing that I could see people having an issue with. Other than that, the game sounds like a total blast, and it's definitely something that people that just want to go in and have a killer time messing around and blowing everything up and that sort of stuff, it is definitely going to be a game for people that enjoy that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's going to bring us to the end of the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.